What a great time of year to be outdoors in the woods. Snowshoeing, March 1st. I do spend a lot of my time outdoors in the winter. When I'm indoors, I think about sea kayaking and sea kayak camping. I've created a short video that will help those of you who are new to sea kayak camping to understand what we need for gear, equipment. And I hope you enjoy the following video. Thank you. Well, it's that time of year again. Dig out the boat. Maybe I'm going to take my first kayak camping trip. Maybe it's my 101st. Lots to do, lots to think about, lots of planning. Weather, tides, campsites. Who's going with you? How am I going to fit all my gear into my kayak? That's probably the biggest question. And so I'm going to offer you some tips that have worked for me for a number of years on a number of trips. That is making packing up easier. If you're lucky to have room in your garage, what a great idea to lay down a sheet and put all your gear out where you can see it. That way you can confirm whether something's present or missing. The first compartment, not necessarily the most important, but is the one where I'm going to put all the gear that I use for last minute stuff that goes on the kayak. I've got my hat, I've got my contact or short toe, I've got my tow belt, I've got my charts with magnetic north lines already on them. I've got my carry straps for carrying the loaded kayak with a group. Some features of my PFD that I find helpful. I'm a big proponent of having a VHF on your person. In this case, it's on my PFD, attached pretty securely. I've got my watch here handy. I've got my camera, and it's on one of those name tag retractable gizmos, so you don't lose your camera. I've got my antenna for the VHF. I've got a compass that's also on a retractable thingy. This is great for when you're trying to set a course with your chart in your lap. And old-fashioned signaling mirror, don't forget about that. Learn how to use that. I carry a foghorn and sunscreen in this pocket here. I've got a spray skirt. I've got water dromedaries. This one will sit on the deck. And all of this here will go into one IKEA bag that you see over here. So that's one IKEA bag. And then moving on, here's my front hatch. Now my front hatch has clothing. This happens to be clothes that I have like for sleeping. And I keep that in a separate bag so I know where that is when I need to get to bed in a hurry. These are all my other clothes. Probably too much, usually is. I've got a 1.5 person tent. That is the Hubba Hubba. That seems to work for me as I get older. I've got a 35-degree goose down bag. Keep that in a waterproof container. Maybe it's 12 by 15 sil nylon tarp. It's a great addition in case it's going to be bad weather. And extra thick Thermarest inflatable mattress here. Now all of this will go into the front hatch. There may be room for a few other items. It typically is. I've got a pretty big boat, as you've seen. And now let's look at the rear hatch. You might think it doesn't have as much room as the front hatch, but if you're careful, you can pack things like poles, retractable poles or foldable poles, tent poles, stakes, way in the back next to the skeg box. And this probably requires no explanation, but don't forget to leave no trace. Maybe we'll dig some clams. Toilet paper, toilet kit, orange so you know where it is when you need it. Lucy light, kind of nice. Cup, spoon. Here's my food bag. All kinds of stuff that doesn't require a lot of cooking, mostly just heat up. I use Esbit denatured alcohol stove. There's my fuel. Here's my cat stove for heating up something as simple as oatmeal in the morning. A bag of cooking utensils, windshield, etc. goes in a bag like that. Who knows how to play cribbage? I do, and I would love to find a partner to play. Maple syrup is always a fun addition to a group outing if you know how to make it. I've got plates that will go into the fire, paper towels, just a regular bowl for whatever have you at night. Paper towels don't take up much room, but they're great to have, especially if you get a fire going. I got a Sven saw for firewood. We do have a fire going. A game camera, maybe to catch the raccoons in my friend's hatch. And then one of those collapsible folding chairs. This one has a nice, I guess I'd call it an apron, where the four legs actually sit in little receptacles on the fabric bottom to keep you from sinking into the mud or the sand, depending on where you are. That's the back container. So you can see there's quite a bit of stuff there and probably room for more, depending how you pack it. Now we're moving on to the middle container, so-called day hatch. And I've got a bunch of odds and ends here. The most important things I carry with these all the time. This is a repair kit. And this is related. That's that ice shield or bituthane to patch a hole in your boat. I've got a first aid kit. I've got, if it's cold on the water, some gloves, a hat, some food, quick access, chocolate, of course, a little bait bag, handy little container that has all kinds of cord in it, clothesline, tent line, fly line, whatever. Doohickey adjustable thing from Night Eyes, nice little gal. And I'm a real big fan of used inner tubes for lashing stuff on my deck or repairing stuff. I carry that a lot. A little bit of more cord. I always have a lighter, putty wet patch, some kind of thing, some more cord. And here's my other thing that goes in there. What's missing would be like my phone and GPS, other things. But this is my ditch kit. And what you see here are the contents of the ditch kit. Everyone's got a different menu for their ditch kit, but just to go through it: Sharpie, Blistex, super glue, duct tape, aspirin, water purifier, fancy clips, beeswax for your zipper, little cord, clothespin, pen, navigation stuff, divider, calculator, ruler for on the water, lighters always, more string, cord, cash, again, more of the rubber, inner tube. You can cut these any width to make like mini elastic bands. And I've got a big orange bag, garbage type bag for distress symbol of sorts. A light that's white and blinking. You can jerry rig this up to your compass to do some night nav if you're clever enough. That's my ditch kit. So everything here would go into this guy, and I would have my keys in here, my wallet, other important stuff, my cell phone. So that is the day hatch, and that goes into a bag like that, a little bit smaller, that it will all fit in there. And a little shout out to my friends at Main Island Trail. Go Mida. And all these other compartments, that is the on the water stuff, and then the front hatch, and then the rear hatch will go into separate IKEA bags like this. So I'll have 1, 2, 3 IKEA bags and one canvas bag. And then I've also got my paddles and other stuff to bring down to the shoreline. So we'll just see what it looks like when we're about ready to launch to see what I forgot. But the whole idea is just to lay it all out. You can see what you have, what you might be missing. Thanks for watching my video. I hope to create a number of small videos that talk about all the aspects of kayak camping, including how to pack your kayak, food to bring, cooking, how to set up your tent, other gear things that are of interest. Be sure to stay tuned for the next video after this one, which would be how to pack your kayak. Thanks for watching.